Hello friends, welcome to Technique. This is Nirmal here, and in this video you're going to do the camera review of the Honor 9 Lite. So the Honor 9 Lite is the latest smartphone in the mid-range segment from Honor in India. So after launching the Honor 9i, the Honor View 10 and also the 7X recently in India, the company has come up with yet another device with a quad camera. So this again comes with 4 cameras, 2 cameras on the rear panel, 2 cameras on the front, and it also comes with a full view display. So this is one of the really good smartphones in terms of the camera hardware, 4 cameras and LED flash as well. So how does it fare in terms of the camera performance? So that's what we're going to find out in this detailed video. So first step, let's have a look at the camera specifications. It comes with a 13 megapixel rear camera, that's the primary camera, f-stop 2.2 aperture, and it also has a secondary 2 megapixel camera for depth sensing, and there is also an LED flash. So on the front panel it has again a 13 megapixel camera. Here we have f-stop 2.0 aperture and a secondary 2 megapixel camera for depth sensing. So that was the camera aspect of the Honor 9 Lite. Now let's go straight into the camera interface to see how good the experience is. So you can see that the camera interface is quite similar to what we've seen on other Honor devices. So swiping from the left side, you get a plethora of modes including photo mode, pro video, panorama, light painting, and a whole lot of features and modes included. And some of the modes are not enabled by default, but you can go to the more option and download other modes. Now if you swipe from the right side, you get to see the resolution. So this is 13 megapixel camera. You can go to 10, 9, 8 and 5 megapixel camera. So these are the options available. Then you also have some additional options like watermarking and touch capture, audio control. So these are options available in all the Honor cameras. Now on the top you get to see the wide aperture mode. So this is a mode which is being made available in all the Honor smartphones. So this is the wide aperture mode. Then you have the portrait mode, and this is an useful mode which is a moving picture enable that shows an animation to all the captures, and then you have the option to switch to the front facing camera. So these are the options here, and here we have the capture button and option to record the video. So it's a quite simple and effective interface in terms of the features and the options being offered. So you can see that it also comes with face detection, autofocus, and the focusing is quite fast as well. So now let's talk about the camera samples which we have taken with this device. So first step, let's talk about the daylight captures. So these are the daylight captures taken with the Honor 9 Lite, and as you can see, it comes with quite good detailing, and colors looks quite acceptable, although it's not as good as the Honor 7X in terms of the overall color reproduction, but it definitely feels quite good in this price segment, and the dual camera does work pretty well. The sharpness levels are quite acceptable, but we feel it could have been a tad better, especially when the 7X produces slightly better overall captures. But remember, the Honor 7X had a 16 megapixel camera, so this is a 13 megapixel shooter with the 2 megapixel camera. So these are the daylight captures. Overall, we feel it's a quite decent camera in this price segment. Does the job pretty well. Good detailing, good colors, and overall clarity looks quite acceptable. Now next up, let's talk about the close-up images. So here we feel close-up images, the colors are a bit more vivid than the landscape images, and at times it feels a bit saturated, but overall we feel it does have some good abilities in terms of the close-up images. And also this device has this wide aperture mode which we have mentioned in our previous Honor devices review as well. So the wide aperture mode can take from f-stop 16 to f-stop 0.95, and you can adjust the bokeh values with this mode. So f-stop 4 will give you better results and good bokeh mode, and it does a pretty good job with edge detection as well, although it's not really perfect, but it does a good job altogether with the bokeh mode. So that was the close-up images. Now let's talk about the portrait images. Now portrait images is one of the good aspects of this phone. It has definitely improved over the Honor 7X, and we feel this is much better in terms of the portrait photography when compared to the Honor 7X, and the edge detection is also better than the 7X. So these are the portrait photos taken with the Honor 9 Lite. Now next step, let's talk about the low light photos. So this is one area where we feel the 9 Lite did not do a really great job, although it's kind of a satisfactory experience. You could see noise creeping in extreme low light photos. With adequate lighting, artificial lighting conditions, it feels a bit more better, but you can see that noise do creep in, and the sharpness was not very impressive. But overall we feel for the price segment it's kind of a decent performer. And we feel the Honor 7X did a slightly better job, and even the Xiaomi's Mi A1 did a better job in terms of the low light captures. We'll also be doing a detailed camera comparison with these devices, so stay tuned for that. Now finally, let's talk about the selfie experience. So this is one area where there is a drastic improvement when compared to the previous Honor devices. So this device comes with a dual camera, that's a 13 and 2 megapixel camera, and Honor claims that this has an upgraded beauty algorithm to customize the beauty by the gender. That means for females and males, the beauty algorithm is different, and as a result, the images taken with the selfie camera looks pretty good, and this is much better than the 7X which had an 8 megapixel camera, and we feel this is again better than the 9i in terms of the overall camera performance. So selfies have definitely improved, and one of the best selfie cameras in this price segment. Now the selfie camera also comes with the bokeh mode, and the bokehs are pretty much effective and does a pretty good job with edge detection, and overall the selfies looks pretty good with the bokeh mode. Now finally, talking about the video recording. So this phone comes with a 1080p resolution video recording. There's no 4K support, and 1080p resolution at 30 fps is the maximum supported, and this is the 1080p sample taken with this device. Overall, we feel it's quite an acceptable camera for video recording, but there is no EIS or OIS included. Having said that, for this price segment, it's kind of decent performer in terms of video recording. So this video has been shot using the front facing camera on the Honor 9 Lite. So it comes with a dual camera setup. It has a 13 and 2 megapixel camera combination, and it can record videos in 1080p resolution. So here is the 1080p resolution video taken using the Honor 9 Lite. So it is definitely a good selfie based camera with a dual camera setup, and this is the video recording we have taken in 1080p resolution. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is. So now summing up, how good is the Honor 9 Lite in terms of the camera performance? So we feel the 9 Lite definitely does a good job altogether with the dual cameras. The rear camera does a pretty good job altogether, especially in close-up images, and landscape images were quite good. But the low light samples were the only downsides for this device. Other than that, it feels quite good, and also the selfies turned out to be really good. Even the portrait mode has been improved, and overall it feels like a good package offered. The quad cameras, the dual rear and the dual front cameras did a good job altogether. Only area where we feel this was not that good was the low light performance. So other than that, this is definitely a good camera smartphone in this price again, especially if you are looking for great selfies. This is definitely a great offering from Honor in India. So that was a detailed camera review of the Honor 9 Lite. So we'll be coming up with the detailed camera comparison with the Honor 7X, the Mi A1, and also the Moto G5 Plus and the Honor 9i as well. We'll be comparing both the rear camera as well as the front camera. So stay tuned for all those videos, and if you plan to buy this device, we'll share the link in the description of this video. You can buy using our link. So this is Nirma signing off. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.